Admiral Zixthor of the Galactic Confederation stared out the viewport of his flagship, the Celestial Hammer. The vastness of space stretched before him, dotted with the twinkling lights of distant stars. But his attention was fixed on a small blue-green planet hanging in the void. Earth. "Status report," he barked, his tentacles rippling with anticipation. His second in command, a tall, willowy creature named Vexna, approached with a datapad. "Our fleet is in position, Admiral. We have the primitive humans completely surrounded. They have no hope of escape." Zixthor's beak-like mouth curved into what passed for a smile among his species. "Excellent. Commence the invasion. These humans will make fine additions to our labor force." As the massive alien armada began its descent towards Earth's atmosphere, alarms blared in military installations across the globe. In a hidden bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force sprinted into the command center. "Report," she shouted, her eyes scanning the holographic displays showing the alien fleet's approach. A young lieutenant spoke up, his voice trembling slightly. "Ma'am, we're detecting over 5,000 alien ships entering our atmosphere. Our conventional weapons are having no effect on their shields." Chen's jaw clenched. Humanity had known this day might come, but they had hoped for more time. "What about Project Railgun?" The room fell silent. Project Railgun was humanity's last, desperate hope, a weapon that used electromagnetic forces to accelerate projectiles to unimaginable speeds. It was experimental, untested in actual combat. "It's ready, ma'am," the chief engineer said hesitantly. "But we've never fired it at this scale before. The power requirements alone could black out half the continent." General Chen's eyes hardened with resolve. "We're out of options. Prepare to fire." As the alien ships entered the lower atmosphere, their energy weapons lashing out at Earth's cities, a massive installation hidden in the side of a mountain slowly rotated into position. The barrel of the railgun, nearly a kilometer long, aimed at the heart of the alien fleet. Admiral Zixthor watched with satisfaction as his ships began laying waste to the human defenses. These primitives were even weaker than he had anticipated. Their projectile weapons and crude energy beams dissipated harmlessly against the advanced shields of the Confederation ships. "Admiral," Vexna called out, a note of concern in her voice, "we're detecting a massive energy buildup on the planet's surface." Zixthor waved a dismissive tentacle, probably their futile attempt at a last stand. Nothing to worry about. Suddenly, a blinding flash erupted from the surface of the Earth. A streak of light, moving faster than the alien sensors could track, lanced upward through the atmosphere. In the command center, General Chen and her staff watched breathlessly as the railgun fired. The electromagnetic coils along its length glowed white-hot, and the recoil from the shot caused a minor earthquake in the surrounding area. The projectile, a specially designed tungsten rod weighing several tons, crossed the distance to the alien fleet in mere seconds. It struck the lead ship, Zixthor's flagship, with unimaginable force. The impact was catastrophic. The Celestial Hammer's shields, designed to deflect energy weapons and slower projectiles, might as well have been tissue paper. The tungsten rod, moving at a significant fraction of the speed of light, punched through the ship as if it weren't there. The kinetic energy released in the impact caused the massive vessel to explode in a brilliant fireball. Zixthor had no time to comprehend what was happening. One moment, he was confidently overseeing the invasion of a primitive world. The next, his ship and his physical form were vaporized by a weapon he hadn't believed possible. The destruction of the flagship threw the alien fleet into chaos. Before they could regroup, another streak of light erupted from the Earth's surface. Another alien capital ship vanished in a cataclysmic explosion. In the command center, a cheer went up as they watched the alien ships frantically trying to escape Earth's gravity well. General Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Keep firing," she ordered. "Don't let up until they're out of range." Over the next hour, The railgun continued to fire, each shot taking out another alien vessel. The once mighty invasion fleet was reduced to a scattered, panicked rabble fleeing for their lives. As the last alien ship disappeared from Earth's sensors, General Chen turned to her staff. "Get me a secure channel to the president," she said, "and someone find out who we need to thank for this railgun. It looks like humanity just earned itself a reputation." Across the galaxy, news of the failed invasion spread like wildfire. The Galactic Confederation, long accustomed to easy conquests of less advanced worlds, had been handed its first major defeat in centuries. And it had been done not with advanced energy weapons or faster-than-light technology, but with what was, in essence, a very fast rock. In the halls of power on 1,000 worlds, leaders and military strategists pored over the scant data from the battle. One fact became clear to all: the humans of Earth were not to be underestimated. They had proven themselves to be clever, resourceful, and utterly deadly when threatened. As for humanity, they looked to the stars with new eyes. They had faced their first extraterrestrial threat and emerged victorious. But they knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was a vast and dangerous place, filled with wonders and terrors beyond imagination. But humanity was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with their ingenuity, their determination, and the knowledge that sometimes the simplest solutions were the most effective. After all, as the aliens had learned to their cost, one should never underestimate a high-speed piece of metal. In the months following humanity's decisive victory over the alien invasion, Earth was abuzz with activity. The railgun technology that had saved the planet was now at the forefront of a new era of technological development and space exploration. Dr. Amelia Rodriguez, the lead scientist behind Project Railgun, found herself thrust into the global spotlight. As she stood before a sea of reporters at a press conference, camera flashes illuminating her face, she took a deep breath. The railgun was just the beginning, she announced, her voice steady despite her nerves. "Today, I'm excited to reveal our next step, Project Starshot." A murmur rippled through the crowd as a holographic display flickered to life behind her. It showed a sleek, needle-like spacecraft unlike anything seen before. Using advanced railgun technology, we can now launch small, unmanned probes at unprecedented speeds, Dr. Rodriguez explained. These probes will be capable of reaching our nearest star system, Alpha Centauri, in a matter of weeks rather than millennia. As humanity turned its gaze to the stars with renewed vigor, the rest of the galaxy watched with growing unease. The Galactic Confederation, still reeling from its humiliating defeat, was in turmoil. On the Confederation capital world of Zarthax Prime, the Grand Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from 1,000 alien races gathered in the vast, crystalline chamber, their voices a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and rumbles. High Counselor Drenthar, a massive, gelatinous being, raised several of his eye stalks for attention. The chamber gradually fell silent. "Esteemed colleagues," Drenthar began, his translator converting his gurgling speech into the standard galactic language. "We face an unprecedented crisis. The humans of Earth have not only repelled our invasion, but are now expanding into space at an alarming rate." Holograms flickered to life around the chamber, showing the latest intelligence on Earth's space program. Satellites, space stations, and the first lunar base were already operational. Plans for a Mars colony were well underway. "Their railgun technology poses a significant threat," another counselor, an avian creature named Kriax, chimed in. "Our fleets are designed to withstand energy weapons, not kinetic impacts of this magnitude." A reptilian being named Solar hissed in agreement. "We must strike now, before they become too powerful." Drenthar's gelatinous form rippled with agitation. "And risk another defeat? No, we need a more subtle approach." As the Galactic Confederation debated its next move, humanity's first interstellar probe streaked across the cosmos. Within the tiny craft, bleeding-edge technology worked tirelessly, gathering data on the interstellar medium and preparing for its arrival at Alpha Centauri. Back on Earth, in a high-security facility buried deep beneath the Atacama Desert, General Chen stood before a bank of monitors. Each screen showed a different view of Earth's rapidly expanding space infrastructure. "How soon until the Mars colony is operational?" she asked, turning to her aide. "The first permanent habitats will be ready within 6 months, Mom," the young officer replied. "But there's something else you need to see." He tapped a few commands on his tablet, and one of the screens changed to show a grainy image. It took General Chen a moment to realize what she was looking at. A massive structure, clearly artificial, floating in the depths of space far beyond Pluto's orbit. "What am I looking at, Lieutenant?" "We're not entirely sure, ma'am. One of our long-range probes picked it up just hours ago. It doesn't match any known natural phenomenon, and it's definitely not one of ours." Chen's eyes narrowed as she studied the image. The structure was roughly cylindrical, covered in intricate patterns that pulsed with a faint, bluish light. It was utterly alien, yet it stirred something in her memory. "Get me Dr. Rodriguez," she ordered, "and alert the President. I think we've just made first contact." Again. As Earth grappled with this new discovery, the probe approaching Alpha Centauri made a startling find of its own. Just as it prepared to enter the star system, its sensors detected an artificial signal, a beacon broadcasting on a frequency that seemed to penetrate the very fabric of space-time. The probe, following its pre-programmed protocols, adjusted its course to investigate. As it drew closer to the source of the signal, it encountered something that defied easy explanation: a shimmering portal of energy, suspended in the void of space. The probe's eye hesitated for a microsecond, weighing its options. Its primary mission was to explore Alpha Centauri, but this discovery was too significant to ignore. Decision made, the tiny spacecraft adjusted its trajectory and plunged into the mysterious portal. In an instant, the probe was transported across vast, unimaginable distances. It emerged in an unfamiliar star system, its sensors overwhelmed by the alienness of its surroundings. Before it could begin to make sense of its new environment, a massive shadow fell over it. The last image the probe transmitted back to Earth, moments before its signal was cut off, was of an enormous spaceship. Unlike the crude, brutish vessels of the Galactic Confederation, this ship was a work of art, sleek, organic, and radiating power beyond human comprehension. As the image flickered on screens in mission control, a chill ran down Dr. Rodriguez's spine. Humanity had taken its first steps into the galaxy, flush with the confidence of their recent victory. But now, face to face with the true wonders and terrors of the cosmos, they realized their journey was only beginning. The age of Earth's isolation was over. Whether humanity was ready or not, they were now players on the galactic stage. And somewhere out there, amid the stars, ancient and powerful forces were stirring. Some curious about these newcomers, others alarmed, and a few seeing opportunity in the chaos to come. The discovery of the mysterious alien structure beyond Pluto and the disappearance of the Alpha Centauri probe sent shockwaves through Earth's scientific and military communities. In a secure conference room deep within the Pentagon, General Chen paced back and forth, her face etched with concern. "So let me get this straight," she said, addressing the holographic projections of Dr. Rodriguez and other top scientists. "We have an unknown alien megastructure in our solar system, and our first interstellar probe vanished through some kind of wormhole." Dr. Rodriguez nodded, her hologram flickering slightly. "That's the best we can determine, General. The probe's last transmission showed what appears to be an artificial gateway of some kind, and the ship it encountered on the other side. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." "Could it be related to the Confederation?" Chen asked. "Unlikely," another scientist chimed in. "The technology is far beyond anything the Confederation demonstrated during the invasion. We might be dealing with an entirely new alien civilization, or maybe something much older." As the implications sank in, A junior officer burst into the room, his face pale. "General, you need to see this," he said, handing her a tablet. Chen's eyes widened as she read the report. "It seems our alien visitors have decided to make the first move," she announced to the room. "We're picking up a signal from the structure beyond Pluto. It's an invitation." Across the globe, governments scrambled to respond to this unprecedented situation. The United Earth Council, formed in the wake of the alien invasion, convened an emergency session to decide humanity's next move. Meanwhile, in the depths of space, the alien megastructure pulsed with energy. Its surface shimmered, and a sleek vessel emerged, clearly of the same design as the ship encountered by the Earth probe. It began a steady course towards the inner solar system, its intentions unknown. Earth's fledgling space fleet mobilized, with ships taking up defensive positions around the planet and its colonies. But as the alien vessel approached, it made no aggressive moves. Instead, it broadcast a message on all frequencies, in perfect English. "People of Earth, we come in peace. We are the architects, and we have been watching your progress with great interest. It is time for you to join the greater galactic community. Please send your representatives to meet us in orbit around your moon. We have much to discuss." The message sent shockwaves through human society. Some greeted it with hope and excitement, others with fear and suspicion, but all recognized that this moment would forever change the course of human history. After days of frantic debate and preparation, a delegation was chosen. Led by General Chen, Dr. Rodriguez, and key world leaders, they boarded Earth's most advanced spacecraft and set course for the rendezvous point. As they approached the moon, they saw the alien ship for the first time with their own eyes. It was massive, easily dwarfing their own vessel, its hull shimmering with an iridescent light that seemed to bend reality around it. A docking tube extended from the alien ship, connecting with their airlock. With a deep breath, General Chen led the way aboard. The interior of the alien vessel was a marvel of organic technology, with corridors that seemed to breathe and pulsate with life. They were led to a vast chamber, where they found themselves face to face with the architects. The aliens were unlike anything humanity had encountered before. They appeared as beings of pure energy, their forms constantly shifting and flowing, yet somehow maintaining a vaguely humanoid shape. When they spoke, it was directly into the minds of the human delegates. "Welcome, children of Earth," the lead architect communicated. "We have been observing your species for a long time, waiting for the right moment to make contact. Your victory over the Confederation proved that you are ready for the next step in your evolution." Dr. Rodriguez stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming her awe. "You've been watching us. For how long? And why choose to reveal yourselves now?" The architect's form shimmered with what might have been amusement. "We have watched your kind since you first looked up at the stars and dreamed. As for why now? The galaxy is changing and ancient powers are stirring. You will need allies in the times to come." General Chen's military instincts kicked in. "Are you offering an alliance? Against whom? Not all species in the galaxy are as benevolent as we are," the architect explained. "The Confederation you faced was but a minor power. There are older, darker forces at work. Your species has shown remarkable potential, especially in your mastery of kinetic weaponry. Together, we could be a formidable force for stability in the galaxy." As the human delegation absorbed this information, trying to grasp the scale of what they were being told, alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. The architect's form pulsed with urgency. "It seems," it communicated, "that our meeting has not gone unnoticed. Prepare yourselves, humans. You are about to face your first test as a spacefaring civilization." Through the chamber's viewports, the delegates watched in horror as a massive fleet of ships suddenly appeared, emerging from what looked like tears in the fabric of space itself. These new vessels were dark, angular, and bristling with weapons. The lead architect's voice resonated in their minds once more. "The Void Collective has found us. They seek to dominate all life in the galaxy, consuming entire civilizations to fuel their dark technologies. Earth is now a target, and the battle for your species' survival begins now. As klaxons wailed and the ship's defenses powered up, General Chen and Dr. Rodriguez shared a determined look. Humanity had faced alien threats before and emerged victorious. Now, with new allies at their side and their innovative technology at hand, they would face this challenge head-on. The battle for Earth, and perhaps the fate of the galaxy, was about to begin. The void of space erupted into chaos as the Void Collective's fleet engaged the lone architect vessel. Energy beams lanced across the darkness, and exotic particles warped the very fabric of space-time around the battling ships. Inside the architect vessel, General Chen's military training kicked in. We need to get back to Earth, warn our people, mobilize our defenses. The lead architect's form pulsed with agreement. We will create a diversion. You must return to your planet and prepare. The fate of Earth now rests in your hands. Before the human delegation could respond, they found themselves enveloped in a cocoon of energy. In a blinding flash, they were teleported back to their own ship. As soon as they materialized, the vessel's AI detected their presence and initiated an emergency warp jump back to Earth. As they hurtled through space, Dr. Rodriguez worked feverishly at the ship's sensors, analyzing the data they had gathered. The Void Collective's technology. It's like nothing we've ever seen. They're not just bending space. They're weaponizing dark energy itself. General Chen's jaw set in grim determination. Then we'll just have to find a way to fight dark energy with good old-fashioned kinetic force. Get me a secure line to Earth. We need to activate Project Thunderbolt. Back on Earth, the planet was a hive of frenzied activity. As news of the impending invasion spread, governments worldwide declared a state of emergency. The United Earth Defense Force mobilized every asset at its disposal. In orbit, the massive space station Olympus Prime became the nerve center of Earth's defense. Here, military leaders from around the world gathered to coordinate their strategy. Admiral Yuki Tanaka, the newly appointed commander of Earth's space fleet, addressed the assembled officers. Ladies and gentlemen, we face an enemy of unprecedented power. But remember, we've beaten the odds before. We will do so again. As she spoke, holographic displays showed the deployment of Earth's defenses, a network of orbital railgun platforms, hastily constructed in the months following the Confederation's invasion, powered up. On the far side of the moon, hidden from Earth's view, a massive construction project neared completion. Project Thunderbolt, humanity's ultimate weapon. Meanwhile, in laboratories and workshops across the globe, scientists and engineers worked around the clock, adapting Earth's technology to face this new threat. Dr. Rodriguez led a team in repurposing the railgun technology, developing new ammunition capable of disrupting the Void Collective's dark energy fields. If we can't overpower them, she explained to her team, we'll have to outsmart them. Every species has its weaknesses. We just need to find theirs. As Earth prepared for battle, the first wave of the Void Collective's fleet entered the solar system. Their ships, like angular shards of darkness, absorbed light and energy as they advanced. Pluto's orbit was breached, then Neptune's, then Uranus. Admiral Tanaka watched the enemy's approach on Olympus Prime's main view screen. They're not even trying to hide their approach, she muttered. They're that confident. A junior officer spoke up, his voice shaking slightly. Admiral, we're detecting energy buildups. In the lead ships, they're preparing to fire. Tanaka's eyes narrowed. Not if we fire first. All platforms. Commence Operation Buckshot. Across Earth's orbit, the network of railgun platforms roared to life. Thousands of hypervelocity projectiles, each no larger than a pencil, streaked towards the approaching fleet. The sheer volume of fire overwhelmed the Void Collective sensors, their dark energy shields struggling to adapt to this unconventional attack. Several of the smaller enemy ships erupted in silent explosions as the railgun rounds found their mark. But the larger vessels pressed on, seemingly unaffected. On Earth, In a heavily fortified bunker, General Chen watched the battle unfold. "It's not enough," she growled. "We need more firepower." She turned to her aide. "Is Thunderbolt ready?" The aide nodded nervously. "Yes, Mom, but the engineers warned that firing it could have unpredictable consequences." Chen's expression hardened. "If we don't use it, there won't be any consequences to worry about. Give the order." On the far side of the moon, a massive railgun array, dwarfing even the one that had repelled the Confederation, powered up. Its barrel was the length of a small continent, wrapped in coils of exotic materials that pulsed with energy. As the Void Collective's fleet entered firing range of Earth, Project Thunderbolt fired. The recoil shook the moon to its core, nearly shifting its orbit. The projectile, a specially designed slug infused with element 115, an artificially created stable isotope of ununpentium, streaked towards the enemy at a significant fraction of the speed of light. The result was beyond anything Earth scientists had predicted. As the slug impacted the lid ship of the Void Collective, it created a localized singularity. The enormous energies involved caused a chain reaction, tearing a hole in the fabric of space-time itself. For a moment, the battle froze as both sides watched in awe and horror. Then, with a silent roar that shook the very foundations of reality, a massive vortex formed. It began to pull in the nearest Void Collective ships, crushing them into nothingness. But the vortex didn't stop there. It grew, its gravitational pull increasing exponentially. Soon, it threatened to engulf not just the invading fleet, but potentially the entire solar system. As alarms blared across every ship and station, one thought echoed through the minds of every human. In their desperate attempt to save Earth, had they doomed not just themselves, but perhaps the entire galaxy? The battle for Earth had taken an unexpected turn, and now humanity faced a threat of their own making, one that could rewrite the laws of physics themselves. The vortex born from Project Thunderbolt's desperate gambit grew at an alarming rate, its gravitational pull threatening to tear the solar system apart. On Earth, in orbit, and across the colonies, panic set in as the true scale of the disaster became apparent. In the command center of Olympus Prime, Admiral Tanaka stared at the holographic display in horror. "My God, what have we done?" Dr. Rodriguez burst into the room, her hair disheveled and eyes wild with a mixture of fear and excitement. "Admiral, General, we may have a way to stop this." General Chen, who had just arrived via emergency shuttle, turned to the scientist. "We're all ears, Doctor. Make it quick." Rodriguez activated a holographic model of the vortex. "The singularity we've created is feeding on dark energy, the same energy the Void Collective uses in their technology. If we can disrupt that energy flow, we might be able to collapse the vortex." "And how do you propose we do that?" Chen asked, her voice tense. "We repurpose our railguns," Rodriguez explained. "We fire specially designed projectiles infused with exotic matter directly into the vortex. The interaction between the exotic matter and the dark energy should create a cascading effect that will destabilize the singularity." Admiral Tanaka frowned. "That's a big should, Doctor. What are the risks?" Rodriguez's expression grew grim. "If it works, we save the solar system. If it doesn't, we might accelerate the vortex's growth. But at this point, we don't have many options left." General Chen nodded. "Do it. I'll take full responsibility for the consequences." As Earth's remaining railgun platforms were hastily retrofitted with the new exotic matter projectiles, the remnants of the Void Collective fleet regrouped. Their ships, though fewer in number, still posed a significant threat. A transmission came through on all frequencies. The face that appeared on the screens was vaguely humanoid, but with skin like polished obsidian and eyes that seemed to absorb light. "Humans," the Void Collective leader hissed, "you have unleashed forces beyond your comprehension. Surrender now, and we may yet spare your world from total annihilation." Admiral Tanaka's response was succinct. "Go to hell." She cut the transmission and turned to her crew. "All ships, engage the enemy. Keep them off our railgun platforms. We only get one shot at this. The space around Earth erupted into chaos once more. Human ships, though outgunned and outnumbered, fought with desperate courage. They used the debris field created by the earlier battle and the growing vortex to their advantage, executing daring maneuvers that caught the Void Collective off guard. On the far side of the moon, Dr. Rodriguez personally oversaw the loading of the exotic matter projectiles into the massive Thunderbolt railgun. If this works, she muttered to herself, I'm either getting a Nobel Prize or tried for crimes against the universe. As the battle raged, Earth's defenders bought precious time. Finally, Rodriguez gave the signal. All platforms, fire on my mark. 3, 2, 1, fire. Railguns across the solar system roared to life simultaneously. Streaks of light converged on the swirling vortex, which had grown to a size that dwarfed Jupiter. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a flash that outshone the sun, the vortex began to collapse in on itself. The gravitational forces it had been exerting suddenly reversed, creating a shockwave that rippled through space. Both human and Void Collective ships were tossed about like leaves in a hurricane. On Earth, tidal forces caused earthquakes and tsunamis. But slowly, inexorably, the vortex shrank. In a final, reality-bending implosion, the singularity winked out of existence. Where once there had been a space-time anomaly large enough to swallow worlds, now there was nothing but the cold, empty void. As the dust settled and damage reports flooded in, it became clear that while Earth had suffered, it had survived. The same could not be said for the Void Collective fleet. Those ships not destroyed in the battle or consumed by the vortex had fled, their dark energy reserves depleted by the exotic matter interaction. In the aftermath, as humanity began to rebuild, they found they were not alone. The Architect ship, battered but intact, reappeared. More followed, emerging from hidden corners of the solar system where they had weathered the storm. The lead architect's mental voice resonated with a mixture of awe and concern as it communicated with Earth's leaders. You have done the impossible. You have faced the Void Collective and emerged victorious. But in doing so, you have also demonstrated the danger your species poses to the balance of the galaxy. General Chen, her uniform torn and dirty, stood tall. We did what we had to do to survive. We'll face the consequences, whatever they may be. The architect's form shimmered with what might have been respect. Indeed, it seems we have much to learn from each other. The galaxy is changing, and perhaps it is time for new alliances to be forged. As the sun rose on a scared but unbroken Earth, humanity found itself at a crossroads. They had proven their worth as a spacefaring civilization, but at a terrible cost. The galaxy now knew of their potential, both creative and destructive. The age of Earth's isolation was truly over. Whether as allies or as a force to be reckoned with, humanity had earned its place among the stars. And as they looked to the future, one thing was certain. The universe would never underestimate the power of a high-speed piece of metal again. In the months following the cataclysmic battle against the Void Collective, Earth underwent a period of rapid change and adaptation. The planet's surface bore the scars of the conflict, with entire coastlines reshaped by the gravitational forces unleashed during the fight. But humanity, true to form, was already rebuilding, their cities rising from the ashes with new alien-inspired technologies integrated into their design. The architects, true to their word, had not abandoned Earth. Their ships now orbited the planet openly, working alongside human scientists and engineers to repair the damage done to the solar system. The exchange of knowledge was transforming human society at an unprecedented rate. In a newly constructed facility in Geneva, now serving as the headquarters for Earth's interim government, Dr. Amelia Rodriguez stood before a panel of world leaders and alien diplomats. The room hummed with a mix of human and alien technologies, a symbol of the new era Earth had entered. Ladies, gentlemen, and honored guests, she began, her voice steady despite the weight of her words. Today marks a new chapter in human history. With the help of our architect allies, we have not only repaired the damage caused by the battle, but have made significant strides in understanding the very fabric of our universe. She gestured, and a holographic display sprang to life, showing a complex network of swirling energy patterns. We now understand that what we once called dark energy is actually a fundamental force that permeates the universe. The Void Collective had found a way to harness this energy for destructive purposes, but we have found a way to use it to create. The hologram shifted, showing a sleek, almost organic-looking spaceship. I present to you the first of Earth's new defense fleet, the ESS Prometheus. Powered by dark energy reactors and equipped with gravity manipulation technology derived from our railgun research, it represents the pinnacle of human and architect cooperation. A ripple of excitement passed through the audience. General Chen, now serving as Earth's representative to the newly formed Galactic Council, leaned forward with interest. And its capabilities, Doctor? Dr. Rodriguez smiled. It can traverse the galaxy in a matter of days, manipulate gravity fields for both offense and defense. And, she paused for effect, it carries a miniaturized version of Project Thunderbolt, refined and controlled to prevent any unfortunate side effects. The Architect Ambassador, its energy form shimmering with what seemed like approval, addressed the assembly. The humans have proven themselves to be resourceful allies. Their unique approach to problem-solving, particularly their mastery of kinetic weaponry, offers new strategies in our ongoing conflict with the Void Collective. As the meeting continued, discussing the implications of Earth's new role in galactic politics, a junior officer burst into the room. "Excuse me, but we're receiving a priority transmission. It's from the edge of the solar system." The main screen flickered to life, showing a familiar face, the captain of the probe that had disappeared through the wormhole months ago. He looked haggard but alive, his eyes wide with a mix of excitement and fear. "This is Captain Marcus Lee of the ESS Pathfinder. We've made it back. But we're not alone. We've brought friends and warnings. The galaxy is larger and more dangerous than we ever imagined. And I'm afraid our battle with the Void Collective was just the beginning." The room erupted into chaos as questions flew. Where had they been? Who were these new aliens? What new threats were looming? But amidst the commotion, Dr. Rodriguez and General Chen shared a knowing look. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged stronger. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Earth would face them head-on. As the days passed, Earth's cities buzzed with activity. The return of the Pathfinder and its crew, along with their alien passengers, had injected a new sense of purpose into humanity. Shipyards orbiting the planet and moon worked around the clock, producing vessels that merged human ingenuity with alien technology. In laboratories across the globe, scientists pored over the data brought back by the Pathfinder. They spoke of ancient alien empires, of cosmic threats that dwarfed even the Void Collective, and of wonders beyond imagination. But they also spoke of hope, of alliances to be forged, of technologies to be mastered, and of a future where humanity stood tall among the stars. The Architect Ambassador, in a private meeting with Earth's leaders, summed up the situation succinctly. "You humans have shown us that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. A piece of metal, accelerated to incredible speeds, changed the course of a galactic war. Now we must work together to face the challenges ahead. The universe is vast and full of dangers, but also full of potential allies. And make no mistake, humanity's reputation now precedes you. You are known as the species that faced the void and lived to tell the tale." As night fell over a changed Earth, its citizens looked up at the stars with new eyes. The sky was no longer a distant, unreachable frontier, but a roadmap to humanity's future. And as ships lifted off from spaceports around the globe, carrying human explorers, diplomats, and peacekeepers to the far reaches of the galaxy, one thing was certain: the universe would never be the same again. For in the grand cosmic theater, A new player had emerged, one that had proven, beyond all doubt, that one should never underestimate the power of human ingenuity, or a high-speed piece of metal. 5 years had passed since Earth's decisive victory over the Void Collective and the return of the Pathfinder. The solar system had been transformed into a bustling hub of interstellar activity, with ships from 100 alien races coming and going in a constant stream of commerce and diplomacy. On Mars, now terraformed into a lush, Earth-like world thanks to architect technology, the first galactic conference was underway. Representatives from civilizations across the Milky Way had gathered to discuss the future of the galaxy and humanity's role in it. Admiral Sarah Chen, now serving as Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council, stood at the podium, addressing the assembled delegates. The chamber was a marvel of Sen architecture, its organic curves and shifting colors designed to accommodate the sensory needs of a myriad of species. Distinguished representatives, Chen began, her voice firm and confident. 5 years ago, humanity was an isolated species, barely aware of our place in the cosmos. Today, we stand among you as partners, innovators, and defenders of galactic peace. Holographic displays sprang to life around the chamber, showing the advancements Earth had made. Images of the new human architect hybrid ships, powered by dark energy and armed with refined gravitational weapons, drew murmurs of appreciation from the audience. Our unique approach to space warfare, Chen continued, born from necessity and ingenuity, has reshaped the balance of power in our galaxy. The Railgun Accords, which many of you have signed, ensure that this technology is used responsibly, as a deterrent against aggression rather than a tool of conquest. Dr. Amelia Rodriguez, now head of the United Earth Science Division, stepped forward to join Chen at the podium. But our contributions extend beyond the military sphere, she added. The principles behind our kinetic weapons have led to breakthroughs in faster-than-light travel, allowing us to bridge the vast distances between stars more efficiently than ever before. A new hologram appeared, showing a sleek ship entering what looked like a tunnel of twisted space. The Alcubierre Rodriguez drive, Dr. Rodriguez explained, uses controlled gravitational fields to warp space itself, allowing for safe and rapid interstellar travel without the need for traditional wormholes. The alien delegates buzzed with excitement. The implications of such technology were staggering, promising a new era of exploration and connection across the galaxy. But the mood sobered as Chen raised her hand for attention. However, we have not gathered here today merely to celebrate our achievements. The intelligence brought back by the Pathfinder and subsequent expeditions have confirmed our worst fears. The Void Collective was but a fraction of a much larger, more ancient threat. The holograms shifted, showing dark, twisted regions of space where stars had gone dark. The entity known as the Cosmic Devourer is moving through our galaxy, consuming entire star systems to fuel its insatiable hunger. Our projections suggest it will reach the borders of known space within a decade. A hush fell over the assembly. Many species present had lost colony worlds to this mysterious force, but none had dared to stand against it directly. Humanity, Chen declared, her voice ringing through the chamber, proposes a united front against this threat. We offer our technology, our strategies, and our determination to the cause. But we cannot do it alone. The time has come for the species of this galaxy to stand together or fall divided. As Chen's words hung in the air, an unexpected figure emerged from the crowd. It was a Void Collective diplomat, one of the few who had chosen to defect after their defeat at Earth. Its obsidian skin gleamed as it approached the podium. The humans speak truth, the Void diplomat announced, its voice a sibilant whisper that nonetheless carried to every corner of the chamber. Our people sought to harness the power of the Cosmic Devourer, believing we could control it. We were wrong. But perhaps, with human ingenuity and the combined knowledge of all our species, we might yet find a way to defeat it. The chamber erupted into discussion, with delegates from various factions arguing passionately about the best course of action. But as the debate raged, a sense of unity began to emerge. Species that had been bitter enemies for millennia found common ground in the face of this overwhelming threat. As the conference drew to a close, a historic declaration was signed. The Galactic Alliance, with Earth as a founding member, was formed. Its primary mission: to pool the resources and knowledge of all member species in the fight against the cosmic devourer. In the years that followed, the galaxy saw an unprecedented era of cooperation and technological advancement. Massive shipyards constructed fleets of hybrid vessels, each incorporating the best technologies from dozens of civilizations. Research stations probed the mysteries of dark energy and the nature of the cosmic devourer itself. And at the heart of it all was the legacy of human innovation, the simple yet profound idea that sometimes the most effective solution was a piece of metal moving very, very fast. As the combined fleets of the Galactic Alliance prepared for their first major offensive against the cosmic devourer, Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the flagship, the ESS Unity. Beside her were representatives from 100 worlds, all united in purpose. Chen allowed herself a small smile as she gave the order to move out. Humanity had come a long way from its first fumbling steps into space. They had faced extinction and emerged stronger. They had turned a desperate weapon into a tool for peace and progress. And now, they were about to face their greatest challenge yet. As the fleet jumped to faster-than-light speed, Chen couldn't help but reflect on the irony. It had all started with a railgun, a simple weapon based on an ancient principle. And now, that same principle was driving humanity and its allies to the very edge of known space, to battle for the fate of the galaxy itself. The universe, it seemed, would never stop underestimating the power of a high-speed piece of metal, and humanity would never stop finding new ways to prove just how powerful it could be.